It's loose. Welcome back. It's part 2 of 30. How much money do you need to start a business? If you watched my video yesterday, you'll see, I was bouncing off the ceilings. I had this incredible idea. Back down to earth, loose. How much money do you need? 2 key words in that question, you and need. Fundamentally, we all need to know our number. Everyone's going to be different, but it's knowing what you need. My situation was I'm married, we don't have children, we had a mortgage, and at the time we had spending based on our current salaries. So we reviewed all our spends, came up with our number. Initially though, I said I'm married, I had to get support from my husband. So when I told him my idea, I was like, Rich, I really think I can do this. And he's like, you should definitely do this. I'm like, very grateful, very fortunate. It was amazing. Without hesitation, he's like, you need to try this. Great, good start. So in my head, and this is kind of top line, but this is the thought process that I had. I'm going to work from home. I have the space, so my overheads are quite low. The equipment that I'm going to need, KitchenAid, I already had. I had cake tins. I had the paints because as I said before in an earlier video, I was already doing this for my friends and family. So my outlay initially was, again, relatively low. It was the cost of ingredients, which at the time, eggs, butter, sugar, flour, much more expensive since COVID, but initially the ingredients to buy cake, not going to cost a lot to start. I was aware of a lot of other cake makers in Guernsey, where I live. And so I did a little bit of research. I went on to the Guernsey census and looked at the data. Now somebody's going to come back and say, you're way off, but at the time, what I had calculated was on average there are 160 birthdays a day. So not including christenings and weddings or other occasions where people might celebrate cake. 160 people celebrating a birthday every day. I only needed a couple a week. I rationalised that the market was big enough to include me as well. I knew that my notice period at work was 3 months. So my timescale for coming up with a bigger plan than just, I can work from my kitchen and I've got a mixer. I had 3 months to do this. I also had to be prepared to fail, and after those 3 months, if things were not happening, and I was banking on them working, but if they didn't, I was prepared. I was committed to this idea that if it didn't work, I would get another job. I would need to do something, and I was prepared to do that. So with all that said, I went into work one morning, February 2019, I think it was the 4th, and I said to my boss, there's my letter of resignation. I'm going to leave to do something amazing, is what I said to her. And she went, that is amazing. Please don't go. Of course, she was incredibly supportive. Over the next couple of days, we spoke about a handover period, my replacement. It was a small team and I'd been there for a long time. I knew a lot of stuff. So we'd agreed that what would be mutually beneficial is for me to stay another 4 months working 3 days a week. Part of me wanted to go, no, I'm working my notice 3 months and then I'm going to go off and do the thing, because I get excited about things. And I was confident, but serious head on. That extra 4 months gave me financial security whilst I was making this transition. It is a big move to go from the corporate job that I had to literally starting from zip. So that made sense. 3 months continuing to work out my notice period, and then, yeah, these 4 months. Now, people have said to me since then, God, Luce, that was a brave thing to do. And the emotions that you feel, you know, my hands are getting clammy now, my heart's racing. It was exciting and terrifying, it depends how you perceive it. But what was more scary to me was thinking that maybe 1 to 5 years down the line, I still had this idea and that I'd done nothing with it. That was a bigger fear than taking the plunge and trying anyway. So, how much money do you need? Only you will know that. That was my thought process, but I had a number in mind. I knew what I was going to do top line and what I was prepared to do if it didn't work. So if you're thinking about this, do the work, know your number. Anyway, 4 years on and I didn't need to get another job, so that's good. Much love, I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.